Welcome. Happy Saturday, everyone. It is so wonderful to be with you today. My name is Amy Sullivan with Aspire Zen. I am a yoga teacher. I'm also a health and nutrition coach. And I thought today that we would just keep it simple. We're gonna do some real basic flow. Don't need any props today, although we are gonna start in a seated position for just a few minutes. And if you have tighter hamstrings or you tend to round your back a lot, you may, if it feels good, wanna sit up on a blanket or a cushion. So here, I'll just grab a pillow to demonstrate. So we're coming into a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. I recommend a cross leg. So maybe you just sit with your tailbone up on a cushion. That can help elevate and lengthen your spine a little bit if that feels good. If not, don't sweat it, don't worry about it. You could also sit on your heels if that feels good. And for the first few poses, you can also sit in a chair. If you are gonna be in a chair, I do ask that you make sure your feet are touching the earth so that you have some grounding down. And then wherever you are, let's settle in. So, ground down through your sit bones, your feet, and feel your spine lengthen up. I'm gonna make sure everyone's muted. If it feels comfortable to you, I invite you to close your eyes.
I thought you said you're recording.
Yes, I am recording this. But it'll just be me on recording. So I record all these, I put them up on my YouTube channel, so you can see them at any time. It doesn't seem to be, oh, that person's not connected yet. There we go. Get everybody muted. Okay, so nice comfortable seat. Ground down through your sit bones. Lengthen up through your spine. Draw your chin slightly back to elongate through the back of your neck. And then you can bring your hands anywhere that they're comfortable. Maybe that's down in your lap. Maybe your hands are resting on your knees. And just take a few moments to arrive, to feel yourself on your mat, in your space in this moment. Just feel up and down inside your body and without. Just feel what's going on, just becoming aware of you today. And start to notice your breath, the gentle rise and fall of your belly and your chest. I'm keeping it simple today. I welcome you the opportunity as we flow through our class today to just be present. Just keep it simple on your end. Just feel your body in the poses. Feel your breath coming in. Let the excess fall away and just be. And so taking that intention or any other intention that you may have for your practice today, let's seal it together. Nice deep inhale here. Feel air coming down into your belly, expanding through your chest, through your ribs. And a giant exhale, sigh it out. Let's do that one more time. Nice deep inhale here. Feel the air traveling all the way down. And big exhale, sigh it out. And now I invite you to start using your yogic breath, your ujjayi breath. Seal your lips together. Start to breathe in and out evenly through your nose. And as you breathe in and out, allow a little bit of a constriction in the back of your throat. It sounds a little bit like an ocean wave crashing. So it's like, I hope you guys can hear that in my microphone. Just adding that little extra opening through the back of your throat that's gonna help you build heat and focus. You're welcome to use this breath throughout class. You can also release it anytime you want. And if you have your eyes closed, I invite you to open them now, flutter them open. And let's just start with a few shoulder rolls. Nice, big, exaggerated movements. Draw your shoulders up by your earlobes and then send them down your back. Just awakening into your body. And now reverse directions. Same exaggerated giant movement. Ooh, I felt a little snap crackle in there. That might be happening on your end too. Just waking up into your body here. And then come to stillness. Inhale both arms up. Reach up nice and tall as you ground down through your sit bones, evenly lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, gently draw your right hand down, left hand comes up and over, just a nice gentle side stretch. You can use the hand on the ground to help support your body. Press that hand down into the mat to help lift and lengthen through both sides of your torso. One more big inhale here. And then exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Reach up with your fingertips, grow long through your spine. Exhale, bend over to the other side. Draw your right hand up and over. Feel a squaring off of your shoulders so you start to feel that expansion, that opening through your side ribs. Reach your other hand down into the mat to lift up, lengthen through your spine. One more big inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, come back to center, both arms up. And exhale, draw them down. And then we will come onto our hands and knees for some tabletop position. So if you're sitting on a cushion, now is a great time to move that out of the way, give yourself some space, and then find a nice tabletop position here. Align your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And spread your fingers out nice and wide. Root down evenly through your hands. Engage your abs in to protect your lower spine. And let's do a few cat-cows here. Inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly down towards the mat. Lift your hips up. Shine your heart forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your chin up to lengthen through your neck. Exhale, cat pose. Tuck your pelvis, tuck your chin. Press your hands down into the mat to lift your spine toward the ceiling. Feel that opening, that rounding of your back. And let's do a few more as breath to movement. Inhale, cow, drop your belly down, heart forward. Exhale, cat, tuck and round, press your spine toward the ceiling. And again, inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Let's do that one last time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat, tuck and round, lift up. And this time, inhale, come to neutral. And start to walk your hands forward. Your chest will start to head down towards the mat. Keep your hips lifted, a little heart melting here. So draw your heart, your chest, your forehead can come resting down on the mat. Keep your hips lifted. And then walk your hands forward. Just tickle your fingertips a little higher on your mat. Maybe your elbows lift up off the mat. Keep pressing your feet and your knees into the mat. Feel a little opening through your chest, your hips. Take a nice deep inhale here. Fill your ribs up, expanding with air. And a big exhale. And gently walk your hands back as you sink your hips back. Find child's pose. So sinking your hips down over your heels. Bring your big toes to touch. Your chest might fall between your thighs here or rest on top. Keep your head rested down on the mat. And just feel into this child's pose, this rest and reset moment, knowing that you can come back to this pose or any other pose that feels good to you at any time during class. Take one more big inhale here. And a big exhale. Seal your lips back together. Come back to that yogic breath, the ujjayi. Press your hands down into the mat. Lift yourself up back to tabletop. One last time. Separate your feet if they are together, hips width. Inhale as you tuck your toes under. Knit your abs up and in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press into your hands. Lift your hips up into the sky. First down dog here, bend one knee as you straighten the other, walk your dog a little. Feel the backs of your legs waking up, becoming alive, becoming part of the practice. Root your hands down evenly into the mat. Send weight into the ball mound of your pointer finger and your thumb to protect your wrists. Send the energy up through your arms.
Rotate your armpits toward one another. Send your belly button toward your thighs to lengthen your spine. Find stillness in your down dog here. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Focus more on lengthening through your torso, through your spine. Heels can be up, knees can be bent. Take a nice deep inhale here. Bend your knees a lot, look forward. Exhale, ragdoll pose. Take one giant step up towards the top of your mat and then another giant step. Keep your feet hips width apart and bend your knees a lot. Maybe you even rest your torso on your thighs. Grab onto opposite elbows. Maybe you sway side to side here. Shake your head yes and no. You can play around with shifting your weight from the ball to the heels. And just notice how that changes the sensation, changes the stretch. And then release your hands down, root into your feet, tuck your tailbone under and start to roll really, really slow, slower than you want to, all the way up to standing. Your head will be the last thing to reach the top. And roll your shoulders back and down behind you. And good morning, here we have arrived. So you're at the top of your mat. I'm gonna turn just for a moment to talk about feet, but you can choose to have your feet hips width for a little bit more stability this morning, or you could bring your big toes to touch with a little sliver of space between your heels. So both are perfect standing at attention poses. And then bring your hands to heart center. Root down through your feet as you lengthen through your spine, samasthiti, standing at attention. We're gonna go through a sun A here. But first we will warm up our arms. So inhale, mountain pose, root down with your feet, lift your fingertips up high. Pause here, breathe easy. Root down through your feet as you lengthen through your spine. Spin your pinkies around towards the front of your space. So your palms face toward one another. Inhale as you lengthen and grow even taller. Exhale, little micro back bend. Cactus your elbows out to the sides and shine your heart up towards the sky. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Tuck your tailbone under slightly to lift your heart up. Inhale, rise back up, mountain pose. Beautiful job. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from your hips, bow forward, bend your knees as much as you need to as you travel down. Now I will join you at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Pause here, place your hands on your shins or maybe up on your thighs so that you can roll your shoulders back and down towards your tailbone. Feel a flat back parallel to the earth. It's as though you're peering over a cliff. Root down through your feet. Inhale, lengthen through your spine a little more. And exhale, high plank. Plant your palms and step your legs back. So you find the high plank up here, hips in line with your shoulders. Maybe you drop to your knees here. And wherever you are, knit your abs up and in towards your spine and root your hands into the mat to ignite your chest. Send your tailbone down towards your heels. Inhale here. Come slightly forward. Exhale, lower halfway down. Keep your elbows nice and tight in towards your sides. Maybe you're on your knees here, lowering halfway down. And then inhale, upward facing dog. Pull your hands back, shine your heart forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Pause here, press your feet into the mat to lift your thighs up off the earth. One more inhale here, looking up and out. Exhale, downward facing dog. Knit your abs in, lift your hips up. And pause here. A few breaths, reset, recenter. Rotate your armpits toward one another. Send your inner thighs towards the back of your space. Feel your sit bones widen, your spine lengthens. Take a nice big inhale here. Come to the balls of your feet, up on your toes. Bend your knees slightly, look forward. At the end of your exhale, forward fold, step or hop to the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, parallel to the earth once again. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, root down as you lift up through your fingertips, rise high. And exhale, hands to heart center, samasthiti.
standing at attention. So that is our Sun A. Today, my friends, we are going to go through that 2 times in breath to movement. So 1 breath, 1 movement. I will flow it with you. Hands at heart center, nice big inhale here. And exhale. And so we begin. Inhale, mountain pose. Root down through your feet, lift your fingertips up high, look up. Exhale, micro back bend, cactus your arms out, shine your heart up. Inhale, mountain, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge from your hips, bow your heart forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, high plank to low plank. So plant your palms, step back, find that plank pose. Maybe the knees come down, maybe they don't. Come slightly forward. And then lower halfway down, elbows nice and close to your sides. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips. 2 breaths here. Reset, recenter. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees slightly, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, step or hop to the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine towards the front of your room. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, mountain pose, root down, rise high, fingertips up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, micro back bend, cactus your arms out, heart up. Inhale, mountain, rise high. Exhale, forward fold. Let your heart lead the way as you bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, high plank to low plank, chaturanga. Plant your palms, step your feet back. Again, maybe you drop to your knees, come slightly forward, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips high. Beautiful. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, sigh it out. Open your mouth, stick your tongue out. Really feel into it. Ah. Nice big inhale here. Seal your lips. And exhale. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. And exhale, hands to heart center, back to the beginning. Moving on from here, my friends. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your palms, low lunge. Step your left foot back to the back of your space. Bend through your front knee, drop your back knee down. And take a moment here, draw your hands to frame your front foot and pull your hands back as you shift your hips forward. Feel a nice little opening, a stretch through the back of your left thigh. Maybe you wiggle side to side a little bit, get into your hips if that feels good. You can come back and forth a little bit. Get a little opening through that hip. And now ground down through your front heel. Inhale, low crescent. Lift your torso up. And pause here before you bring your arms into the picture. Find your base. So you could have your back foot tucked or untucked, whatever feels good to you. Root down through the heel of your front foot and align your knee over your ankle. And then feel a little tuck in your tailbone. Lift through your hip points to feel a stretch through the back, the left psoas. Lengthen through your spine. And then, if that all feels stable and sturdy, inhale your arms up. Palms face toward one another. Or maybe if it feels good, you interlace your hands and you point your index finger up. Take another big inhale here. And as you exhale, plant your palms, low lunge. Frame your front foot with your hands. Lift your back knee up. Inhale here. And as you exhale, step back, high plank. So right leg comes back. Again, you can drop to your knees at any time here. Inhale, come slightly forward. And as you exhale, drop all the way down to your belly. Lower slow and controlled. Keep your elbows in. And bring your belly down onto the mat. Beautiful job. Draw your hands next to your ribs and bring your elbows into the sides of your body. Point your elbows up towards the ceiling. Untuck your toes. Engage your abs up into your spine and press your pelvis down into the mat. Inhale, low cobra. Roll your shoulders back down your spine. Lift your heart up. Continue to press your pelvis into the mat. Send your tailbone towards your heels. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Look up. Take one more big inhale here. Exhale, lower down. We're gonna do that one more time. Inhale, low cobra. Shine your heart up, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Little to no weight in your hands. Maybe you even hover your hands off the mat. Lengthen through the crown of your head towards the front of your space to lengthen your neck. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Knit your abs up and in. So strong, everyone. Inhale here. Exhale, lower back down. You can let your cheek rest on your mat. And maybe you bend your knees, windshield wiper your feet in the air. Give your low spine a little release, a little relax. Moving on from here, so you have the option here to add your feet into the mix. So elbows are still pointed up towards the sky, hands down next to your ribs. An option here to squeeze your legs together. Continue to press your pelvis into the mat, knit your abs in. Inhale, low cobra with locust legs. Lift your toes up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift up through your heart. Roll your inner thighs up toward the ceiling. Really squeeze those thighs together. One more big inhale here. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful job. Windshield wiper those legs one more time. Spread your fingers out nice and wide next to your ribs. Draw your feet back down, tuck your toes under. Knit your abs in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Shine your heart up. Lift your thighs up off the ground. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Breathe here, come back to your breath. Come back to the start. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, root down, rise high, fingertips come to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. And let's even out those legs, all right? Other side, inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, low lunge, plant your palms. This time, step your right foot back to the back of your space. Drop your back knee down. And using your hands to help guide you, plant your hands on the earth and draw your hips forward towards the mat. Feel that opening, that stretch now through the right psoas, the right front hip. And once again, if it feels good, you can shimmy your hips side to side. Maybe you come gently back and forth. Just awaken into your hips. Take one more big inhale here as you drop your right hip towards the earth. Big exhale, deeper still. Release that hip into it. Inhale, low crescent, rise up. So once again, before you lift your arms, find your base here. So root down into the heel of your front foot and tuck your tailbone under. So the tendency is to dump like so. So think tailbone down, hips lifted, and then you see how I've lengthened my spine. That's what we're looking for. You could have your back toes tucked or untucked, whatever feels good. And you're looking for a little stretch here in the right psoas. If you're not feeling that, you can walk your front foot forward just a little bit, as long as you can keep that length through your spine. And then when you're ready, lift your hands up. Look up perhaps if that feels good. Feel the squeezing of your thighs toward one another to help keep your midline centered. One more big inhale here. And exhale, low lunge. Frame your front foot with your hands, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up. Inhale, high plank, step it back. Come slightly forward, exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog, right through our vinyasa here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice big inhale here. Big exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet, bend your knees slightly. Look forward, exhale, forward fold. Maybe you hop this time to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Moving on, my friends. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend your knees and sink your hips back. Shift the weight into your heels and really zipper your thighs up. You should feel a slight, maybe before your arms come up, feel that slight tuck in your tailbone, a lift through your hips, a lift through your heart. Knit your abs in towards your spine, and then maybe you bring your arms up. Draw your armpits toward one another. Point your pinky fingers forward. Here's what it looks like from the front so you can see both sides. Squeeze your thighs together. Imagine you are a dolphin or a mermaid and you are swimming through the sea. You have one strong unit. It's fine if your feet are hips width, if that feels more stable. So as you ground down through your heels, feel your hamstrings and your glutes lifting and supporting you. So strong. One more big inhale here. Exhale, stand up. Give those legs a break. Give them a shake. Beautiful job. Moving on to our Sun B. So we did our Sun A, and now we're gonna do our Sun B. Inhale, chair pose. Sink your hips back. Exhale, forward fold. Draw your hands through heart center. As you bow forward, lift your hips up. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, lengthen your spine. Exhale, high plank to low plank, chaturanga, step back. And you can skip these anytime. You could go straight to downward facing dog, or you can come to your knees, lower halfway down, bend your elbows, keep them in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, step your right foot forward, low lunge. Bend into your front knee. Fan your back foot, your left foot out 45 degrees. Inhale, warrior one. Rise up, pause here. So similar to that low lunge we just did, you wanna have that little tuck in your tailbone, lift through your hip points. Bend into your front knee, shift the weight into the heel of your front foot, outer knife edge of your back foot, and feel your front hamstring ignite to support you. Squeeze your thighs together to lift up through your midline. And then maybe you stretch your arms up. Looking forward. Beautiful job. One more big inhale here. And exhale, plant your hands down, low lunge. When we flow, we will go straight into chaturanga here. So step your right foot back, high plank. Come slightly forward. Again, you can always lower to your knees. You can always skip these. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift your heart forward, thighs up. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Right away, step your left foot forward, low lunge, bend into your left knee, fan your right foot, your back foot out 45 degrees. Inhale, warrior one on the other side. And so once again, your hips and heart are shining, trending forward. They may not be perfectly aligned, especially if you have tighter hamstring or tighter hips rather. But you want to root down into the front heel. Your intention is that you are shining forward. Weight in your front heel, outer knife edge of your back foot. Squeeze and ignite your thighs to support you. Knit your abs in. Inhale here. Exhale, low lunge. Plant your palms to frame your front foot. Spin your back foot in line with your front foot and step back, high plank. So again, we're gonna do a vinyasa. So you have the option to skip it and go straight to downward facing dog, or come slightly forward. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Flip your feet, shine your heart up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Few breaths here, reset, recenter. And on your next inhale, come to the balls of your feet, bend your knees slightly, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, sink your hips back, zipper up your thighs, lift your heart. And exhale, stand up. Samasthiti, hands to heart center. Shake those legs out. So we're gonna go through that in breath to movement. And again, take care of you first. So if you need to go to your knees, skip those push-ups, skip them. Take care of you. Feel challenged, feel inspired. That's my goal here, but I also need you to feel safe and supported. So take it any way you need to take it to support you best. Bring your legs together, big toes to touch or hips width apart. Knit your abs in, lift your heart up. Hands at heart center. Inhale, chair pose. Sink your hips back, sitting down in your chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, high plank to low plank, chaturanga dandasana. Step it back either to downward facing dog or to that plank. Come slightly forward. And then on your exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Straight away, step your right foot forward. Fan your back foot out, 45 degrees. Inhale, warrior one, rise up. Exhale, come back down, plant your palms, step back to downward facing dog or through your chaturanga, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips up. Step your left foot forward, fan your right foot, your back foot out. Inhale, warrior one, rise up. Exhale, high plank to low plank, step it back through your chaturanga, halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. We all convene together again in here in this down dog. Take a nice deep inhale. Open your mouth, stick your tongue out, sigh it out. Lion's breath. Ha! Let something go. Seal your lips back together. Come back to your yogic breath, your ujjayi. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, forward fold. We're gonna do that one more time. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Sink your hips back. And exhale, stand at attention. So once again, option as we go through from the warrior one, you can come back down and lift your hips right back up and just hang out in down dog for a few breaths. Or you can go through a vinyasa, lower halfway down, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, let's do it. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga, high plank to low plank or straight to down dog, your choice. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Send your right foot forward, low lunge, fan your back foot out. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. And exhale, lower back down, straight to down dog or through your vinyasa. Once you find down dog again, draw your left foot forward. Inhale, warrior one on the other side. And exhale, plant your palms back down, step it back through your vinyasa or straight to down dog. We will meet in downward facing dog. Few breaths here, reset, recenter. Feel your hands rooting down into the earth. Feel your feet. Roll your inner thighs away from you towards the back of your space. Send your belly button towards your thighs. Lengthening through your spine. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees slightly, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. And exhale, standing up, Samasthiti, standing at attention. Beautiful job, my friends, beautiful. All right, moving into a little bit of spinal twisting from here. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Sink it low. As you exhale, stay in your chair, draw your hands to heart center. Inhale, send the crown of your head forward as you send your hips back. Lengthen through your spine here. Sink a little lower in your chair. Exhale, chair twist to the right. Twist from your belly, your bottom elbow, your left elbow is gonna find the in or the outside of your right thigh. And then press your hands into one another to help elevate and twist along your vertebrae or along your spine. Keep zippering up your thighs. Send the weight into your heels. Can you sink your hips a little bit lower? Option to fly and release your hands, open them up for the last few breaths here. Feel yourself being fully present in this pose. The feel-good parts, the challenging parts, savor every aspect of it. Take one more big inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Lift your hips up, straighten your legs, shake those legs out, so strong. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do the other side. I'm gonna shift around so you can see my face. You stay right where you are. Inhale, chair pose. And as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center once again. Inhale, draw your butt back and your head forward. So you bow closer to your thighs. And then exhale, chair twist to the left. Bottom elbow, right elbow finds the in or the outside of your left thigh. Press your hands into each other. Feel that twisting. As you inhale, lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, can you twist a little deeper? Keep squeezing your thighs together. Be present on this side in this moment. Option to fly, open your arms if that feels good. A few more breaths here. One last deep inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Straighten your legs, drop your head down. Shake those legs out, so strong. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful job, everyone. Now, give yourself a 90-degree turn. So now you're facing towards the long edge of your mat. We're gonna play in a little bit of balancing this morning. We're gonna keep it simple. Again, we're gonna do tree pose. So, facing somewhere towards the long edge of your mat, start to shift your weight into your left leg. Root down evenly through all four corners of your foot and feel your thigh lift up off your kneecap. Feel your outer left hip fire up your glute. Feel it strong and steady. Beautiful job. Inhale, lift your right heel up off the mat. Maybe you stay right here today, or perhaps your right foot starts to come on, perhaps to your left shin, or maybe you draw it up a little higher and it roots into your thigh. Maybe you fall out of it and you come right back in. It's yoga. We're here to play. And then when you find your steady base, there we go. Maybe you do a dancing tree like I'm doing. Find your steady base. Your hands could come to your hips, to namaste in front of your chest. Maybe you grow your tree and you lengthen your hands up above. Maybe they sway in the breeze. Come back to your center, back to your focus. Send your gaze, your dristi, onto something that you know for a fact is not gonna move ever. Hold it there. Take one more big inhale here. And then as you exhale, release it down. Shake those legs out. Very strong. That was a long time to hold it. And again, I fall out of tree all the time. You get right back in, right? So let's shift to the other side. Moving your focus onto your right foot now. Lift your right toes up off the mat, just your toes. Feel now how you're pressing down through four corners of your foot. So maintain that sensation. Drop your toes back to the mat. Feel your thigh lifting off your kneecap. Feel your right glute wrapped in, engaged. And then lift your left heel up off the ground. Maybe you stay right here today. Or perhaps you draw the sole of your left foot to your shin, or maybe against your ankle, your right ankle. Hands can be at your hips to get you started. Or maybe you draw your foot all the way up, finding tree on the other side. Feel a pressing of your weight evenly into your foot. Press down through that right big toe. And then when you found your tree When you found your focus, drishti, your gaze, and you pick what you want to do with your hands. Maybe you play around with it. Maybe they're at heart center. Maybe your tree grows. Maybe it sways in the breeze. And knit your abs up in towards your spine to continue strengthening and lengthening one solid tree trunk, rooted down into the earth so you can rise up toward the sky. Amazing focus, everyone. Inhale here. And exhale, release. Shake it down, you did it. I saw it, looks great. All right, come to the top of your mat, my friends. We're going to go through, we're going to come down onto the earth, so you can choose if you want to do one last vinyasa or if you want to press it straight to downward facing dog. Whatever you want. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, let's do that back bend again. Cactus your elbows out, shine your heart up. Maybe it's a little bigger this time. Tuck your tailbone under to lift your heart, protect your spine. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank or step back to downward facing dog. Keep your elbows in towards your sides. If you're lowering halfway down, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful job, everyone. Nice big inhale here. And a big exhale. And inhale, come down to tabletop. And then rise up onto your knees. So we're gonna do a nice big heart opener. We're gonna do camel pose this morning. And we've been working through it with all those heart openers, back bends, opening through the front of our thighs. So basically, we're looking for a 90-degree angle. Knees are about hips width apart. And then you want a 90-degree angle from your heel to your knee to your bum. So you see that 90 degrees I've got going on, and then knees hip width, feet are in the same line. So feet are hips width as well. So that's your starting point. If you have a block, I like to put it between my ankles because that tells me that I'm right about the width I need to be. If you don't have a block, don't sweat it. Totally not necessary. So that's your base. And then bring your hands to your lower spine, like you're sticking your hands in the back pockets of your jeans. And so from here, start to press gently on your lower spine. Inhale, roll your shoulders up, back, down, squeeze them together, and feel your heart start to shine up and forward. So root your knees and your feet into the mat as you press your hips forward using your hands. As you squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your heart up towards the ceiling. Send your chin up into the sky, lengthen through your front of your neck. And maybe you stay right here. Maybe this is a perfect camel. Perhaps you're feeling as though you want a little extra. This morning you bring your hands to your heels. Recommit to that heart opening, that squeezing of your shoulder blades, that rolling open with your heart, your chest. More big breath here. And then root down into your knees, engage your abs in to gently lift you up and forward, back up to seated. Beautiful job, everyone. Sink your hips down over your heels and draw your head forward. Let your forehead rest down on the mat. You can rest your hips all the way down on your feet or wherever they go. Grab onto the backs of your feet here. So now you're holding onto your heels. Your forehead is on the mat. And now start to lift your hips up to the sky. You're gonna roll from the forehead onto more of your crown, drawing feeling a pull. So pull on your feet and feel an opening, a spreading of your shoulder blades along the back as your hips lift. This is rabbit pose. If this does not feel good, keep your hips down and just do child's pose with your hands back.
Wherever you are, take a nice deep inhale and expand that air into your back body. Feel your back ribs opening, filling with breath. And then exhale, sigh it out. If your hips are up in rabbit pose, send them back down on your feet. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders, spread your fingers out wide, and press yourself up to a seat. Beautiful. Roll around onto your favorite hip and swing your legs around in front of you. So long legs here, but first, move any flesh from the seat bones so that both sit bones are grounding down evenly into the earth so that you can lengthen, lift up through your spine. If you are flex through your feet, and if you can have straight legs, amazing. If not, no biggie. If it feels better, if you have tight hamstrings, to have a bend in your knee, that's totally fine too. You can also take that cushion that you used at the beginning when we were sitting cross-legged and sit on the end of that cushion if it helps give you a little lift. Great option for tighter hamstring days. And then everyone, arms up, lift up, lengthen, grow taller. Exhale, fold forward, hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as you need to, and then your hands will find something. Maybe your shins, maybe your knees, maybe your toes. Everyone, inhale, lengthen through your spine. Feel the crown of your head rising up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, drape your torso forward. Imagine that I've come over to draw you forward and then down. Maybe you come a little bit lower. Keep flexing through your feet. I even like to grab onto the pinky toe side of my feet with my hands and help pull them back so they're more even, and it changes the stretch up. Maybe your nose has made it to your knees. Maybe it's not even close. Maybe you are seated upright today. Same exact stretch, Paschimottanasana. Keep lengthening through your spine as you inhale. And with each exhale, maybe you get a millimeter closer. Take one more big inhale here. And then as you exhale, sigh it out. Use your hands to help press into your legs. Walk your torso back upright. Beautiful. And shake those legs out. If you're sitting on a cushion, you're going to remove it out of your way. Bring the soles of your feet to your mat. Bend your knees. Place your hands behind your hips to shift your hips forward, heading towards one end of your mat. And then we're gonna roll down onto your back. So you can take this, I'm gonna give you the option for a little core challenge here if you want it, or you can make a carve a C out with your spine and roll down. If you want the core challenge, lift your heart up, knit your abs in to your spine, and then bring your hands out in front. You could keep your feet on the mat. If you want even more, bring your shins parallel to the earth. Feel your heart still lifted, abs in. If you want even more, straighten your legs, squeeze your thighs together, still heart lifted, still abs in. Add your yogic smile, it makes it so much easier. We're gonna lower slow and controlled for 8, 7, 6, keep squeezing, 5, 4, 3, you got this, 2, and 1, you did it. Whew, that was a good little core awakening right there. So bend your knees, place your feet flat on the mat, and first and foremost, find a neutral spine. So if you're like me, your lower back lifted during that. So find a little bit less of a gap in that low spine, neutral spine here. And then cross your right ankle over your left knee, your left thigh, figure 4. Send that lifted knee, your right knee, away from your face. And maybe you stay right here. You feel a little hip opener on your right side. Or if you want a little more, grab onto the back of your left thigh. Draw both knees toward your face as you press your tailbone back into the mat, just gently resting your entire spine on the mat. And you're welcome to rock yourself side to side. That feels good. I also like to use my right elbow, the elbow next to the crossed knee, and press it into the inner thigh to send the knee further away from my face.
Just a little deepening of the stretch. Into a nice deep hip opener here. The more you draw your knees towards your chest and the more you press your tailbone back into the mat, the deeper and more intense the stretch. And then gently, gently come back to center here, come back to stillness. And slowly, with control, release down your left foot onto the mat and then uncross your legs. And we'll do the other side. Even ourselves out, cross your left ankle onto your right knee and send your left knee away from your face. If this feels good and nice and stretchy on your left hip, stay right here. Or grab onto the back of your right thigh. Flex through your lifted foot to protect your knee. And if you enjoyed rocking side to side on the other side, give it a try on this side, see how it feels. I invite you now to release your yogic breath, release your ujjayi. Shift your breath focus now to longer, slower, deeper inhales and exhales. Start to shift your body from action and heat building mode into cooling and resting mode. And if you're rocking side to side, come back to stillness in your figure four and gently release your right foot onto the mat, uncross your leg. And here we're gonna do a gentle supine twist. So draw your right knee into your body. Give it a little hug and a squeeze. Option to keep this left foot flat on the mat with your knee bent. It's gonna be a little more gentler on your lower spine. Or if it's available to you this morning, it feels good, you're welcome to straighten your left leg. Flex through your left foot so that you can press your thigh toward the earth. You might feel a little stretch along an opening along your left psoas. Wherever you are, everyone hug your right knee in and start to rotate your right ankle around in a circle. Give it a little squeeze, a little love. And then draw that right knee towards your right armpit. So you're almost opening the knee outward as you pull it into your body. All the while, if your left leg is straight, pressing that thigh into the mat. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, supine twist. Draw your right knee across your body. Bend it over, stack your hips on top of one another. And then perhaps your right shoulder finds its way back down onto the mat. Maybe you extend your right arm out behind you. Maybe you look back behind you to the right, if that feels good and supportive. And maybe the hand that's closest to your knees grabs onto the top leg and gently draws it closer to the earth. You can use that hand to control how deep this stretch becomes. Whatever feels good to you, go with it. Take what you need, leave the rest behind. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, gently, gently roll yourself back to the center line. Let's even out our spine. So drop both knees into your chest. And maybe you wiggle around, use your hands on your knees to draw little circles. Feel that nice straightening out, evening out of your spine. And then draw your left knee towards your chest. Give it a hug and a squeeze. Your right foot can either be on the mat with your right knee bent or extend your right leg long. And press your right thigh toward the mat. As you hug your left knee in, rotate your left ankle. Give that a little hug and a squeeze. And start to use your hands to draw that knee, not just towards your chest, but also like alongside your left side body, your knees heading towards your left armpit almost. As you do that, feel that opening through all the front of your hips here. Continue to press your right thigh, the extended long leg, if you have it extended toward the earth. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, supine twist. Use your hands to guide your left knee across your body. Stack your left hip on top of your right. And then perhaps your left shoulder finds its way back onto the mat. Maybe you extend your left arm out long. Allow the hand next to the knees to guide the knees closer to the earth if that feels good. Come back to your breath. Long and deep, slow. Feel your body surrendering, sinking down into the mat. One more big inhale here. And then as you exhale, untwist, unwind, come back to center. And once again, bring both knees in. Give yourself a little hug and a squeeze. Feel your spine evening out on the mat. Maybe you draw those little circles in the sky with your legs. Give yourself a little back massage. And then come into happy baby. Flex your feet and send your feet up toward the ceiling. Keep your knees bent. And then each hand grabs onto each leg somewhere. Maybe it's your shins. Maybe it's your outsides of your feet. Maybe it's your toes. Wherever you have grabbed onto, utilize your hands to draw your knees down back towards your torso, coming along the sides of your body. And then if it feels good, maybe you try on a little rocking from side to side here. Maybe, just maybe it feels good to straighten one and then the other leg, or both legs straighten. Just play around with it, try it on, see what feels good. What is your body calling for this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are at this moment in time? Maybe you want stillness. And then everyone come back to center, come back to stillness. Release your legs from your arms. Give yourself one more big hug in, a big squeeze. Make a little ball with your body. Hug everything and draw your nose towards your knees. Squeeze everything here. Nice big inhale. Squeeze everything, your fingers, your toes, your ears, your eyes, your nose. And exhale, release, resting pose, Shavasana. Bring your legs out and down. And take any last little wiggles out of your body. Maybe you take up some extra space, bring your hands away from your sides, palms facing up for receiving, palms facing down to ground. And close your eyes, and I will mind the time. Give yourself a few moments to just rest. Shavasana. If you would like to stay in this resting pose and you have the time, I by all means, take it. Give yourself as much rest, as much peace in Shavasana as you so desire. But if it is time for you to move on to the next adventure in your Saturday, start to bring your awareness back to the space. And allow your breath to gently become deeper, more pronounced. And start to allow any little micro movements that feel good and supportive. Maybe you wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles in little circles. Just awakening back into your body. And then letting that go. Stretch your arms above your head. Stretch into your legs and stretch into every inch of amazing, wonderful no one in the world quite like you. And then letting that go. Draw your arms down along your sides. Bend your knees gently. And taking all of the time and space you need, press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Maybe you keep your eyes closed. Maybe you pause, lying on your side for a breath or two. Just taking that moment to be present in each breath, each movement back to awakening. And take a moment here to just feel into every inch of your body. Just notice the difference of how it feels between now and when we started class. And I invite you, as we leave our mats, to look for little ways to be just a little more present in your day. Maybe it's just lingering and tasting your food, or just taking in the sights and sounds around you, feeling the depth and love in a hug. The little things in life, being more present, enjoying them. With that, my friends, as always, such an honor to flow with you. The teacher in me thanks and appreciates the teacher in each and every one of you. Have a blessed and beautiful day. Bring your thumbs to third eye center, hands together. Inhale here. Exhale, bow forward, namaste. Thank you kindly.